and successful as he is because he really like embraced it and didn't just say like, oh, I'm this guy and now I have all this money and, and stay the same. I love watching people's journeys, and he really like embraced like growing up and learning and opening up his, his spiritual side, and you know what I mean? Just really like evolving. And I just love watching that because it was like,
And now he moved his family, what was it, to Indiana somewhere?
Las Vegas, isn't it?
I think you're
I
right.
read somewhere
a
lot of people were moving to Vegas. Yeah.
Perez Hilton moved to Vegas, like to just get more. Yeah, everyone is moving to Vegas.
But then you're in Vegas.
It's not for me.
Not for me either. But I guess, you know what? And they travel so much. It's like, home base could really be anywhere, right? So
I think he said he wanted his kids to have like a more, outside LA life. Which I'm like,
I don't blame him. Yeah.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
But you guys were always never hot and heavy. It was always just.
It was, it was like we liked each other. We liked each other. And when we saw each other, we hung out, whether it be in New York or LA. And it was just fun. I mean, we were kids,
You know so many people in the business. Do you ever know Kyle and Kim Richards? Speaking of,
I remember being around them, and I remember being around them when I was really very young. I remember I have like a vivid memory of being in Malibu at Cross Creek with them, and I think we had a lot of mutual friends. So I remember that, and I knew who they were, obviously, and but not really any kind of friendship or hadn't kept in contact or anything like that. But definitely was around them. They always had this like long, beautiful hair. They were like dolls.
Like I could see you guys having gone for some of the same parts, just because you guys. I mean, Kim's older and Kyle's older, but I mean, you're all around the same age.
Yeah, for sure. Probably, but yeah.
Interesting. Was there ever a part that you were in the mix for where, we can say, oh, wow, that's Julia, you could have been Pretty Woman, Julia Roberts, or was there a famous part where you got far and then it went to someone else and now we're like, wow, that was almost Nicole Eggert?
So many.
Really?
So many.
What?
Well, I had tested for E.T. I had...
For the Drew Barrymore role.
Yeah. And so, had a lot of meetings with Steven Spielberg. And then there was this, the Amityville Horror, which was something I wanted so bad because
Really?
I wanted to see all the effects. I wanted to see all the gruesome stuff. And all these auditions were talking to this pig with these red glowing eyes. And then when I was older, American History X, I did a screen test with Edward Norton. For that, I really wanted to get that. But I see why they hired Fairuza Balk, and I think, everything happens for a reason. Also, Roller Girl. I got really close to being Roller Girl in Boogie Nights, which would have been interesting.
Which was Heather Graham, right?
Yeah, Heather Graham. So, those were parts that it was like, no. It was right there, but no. And, listen, just to say that you got that far feels good,
What would that have been like? You were hanging out with Mark Wahlberg
that would
anyway?
Would have been fun, yeah. Because he would tell me about the hair extensions he was wearing in the show and stuff like that. I don't know if he knew that I was auditioning, and I don't think I knew that he was cast in it yet when when I was auditioning. So it was this whole yeah.
Wow. You could have been the little girl in E.T.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's just so funny because I remember Steven Spielberg saying to me, God, you have such an interesting voice. I really like your voice. And I was like, I hate it. So little. And my mom was like, why would you say that? Why would you say you hate something about yourself? And I was like, oh, it's true. And, listen, everything has its reason.
Did you get really far? Was it almost you?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how far I got, but there was a couple meetings, it's and you don't forget jobs like that because you're you knew you auditioned for this and then it's such a huge hit. So,
and I imagine you get far because you're not. Steven Spielberg is not coming to the table wherever you met him all these times for someone who's just maybe in the first, second, third round.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
I find that interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I do all the auditioning and then they give an offer out to a name. You know what I mean? Somebody who has a higher, bigger name than I do, and it's damn it. My hopes got up there, but
is there a part like that you are just like, man, that's the one that gets away? Or as an actress, you're just like, okay, wasn't meant to be.
Yeah,
Let's move on.
let's move on. It wasn't mine. And it's not like I'm not one of those people who watches it and like I could have done that better. I go, oh, I see. I see why she's playing that part and why they gave it to her, because I love both of those movies, all of those movies, and all of the actresses in those movies. So it's like, it all makes sense.
So as you watch E.T. and say, I remember what was going on at that point in my life, and I get why they gave it to Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, I mean, yes, 100%. So I think she nailed it. She was Gertie.
She
right?
was.
She was Gertie. I think you can't change that. Once you see the movie and you fall in love with the movie, you can't you can't picture, even if it is yourself, you can't picture anybody else doing it, really.
Completely.
You know?
Are you the type, just because you've been in this town forever and the business, like, do you get starstruck?
I don't know. I don't know if I get starstruck, but I do, like, I am in awe of people. And it's always interesting when you see somebody or you meet somebody that you look up to and that you love their work, to see, like, the energy they bring into a room. I always kind of love that. Some people are so casual and you wouldn't even know who, they're just like, they blend in. And then other people, it's like, the energy is just radiating off of them. And it's, so I always find that interesting.
If you could, like, work with just an actor or an actress that you haven't, who would it be?
There's so many. I would love to be around Margot Robbie, to be honest with you. I could be your mom. I could be Margot's mom. I would love to be with her. Also, Jennifer Coolidge, because not only do I love her and adore her and just love her acting, but people will always say to me that we look alike. And I'm like, you know what? I never thought about that, but we could, So I feel like these are things that make sense,
Well, when you said, could I see you playing Margot Robbie's mother? 100%.
100%, right?
And could I see you being like a sister or some crazy relative of Jennifer Coolidge?
100%, right?
100%.
Yeah,
yes.
I think so. So I try to keep it realistic.
Let's put this out into the universe.
Yes.
Did you watch White Lotus?
Oh yeah, of course, obsessed.
It was great.
I mean, that ending with her, I just got chills right now thinking about it. Amazing. What a show.
She's great.
She's genius.
She's great. Not to harp on this, but a few years ago, I know, like, on Twitter, the whole thing came out, like, from Charles in Charge, where, you made these accusations against Scott Baio, and then, it didn't go anywhere because of statute of limitations. Where are we in, the industry with Me Too? Have we come really far? Have we not really come far? Are behaviors still the same? Like, I'm just curious what your thoughts are.
I think it's a mixed bag.
You do?
I do. I think a lot of, especially younger generation, are much more aware and, sensitive to it all. There are some people that are never going to change their ways, right? There are some people who just think it's all a bunch of crap and they're going to keep being themselves. And but I think what's acceptable, like on set, and behavior, like outright behavior, I think has really sort of changed. I don't think you can act the way certain people acted on set anymore.
You do?
Yeah, because there's too many people around. There's too many people who are not going to put up with it, or not going to be bystanders anymore.
I mean, I kind of think the same thing.
Yeah.
And then, like, when that happens and then it goes away, do you hear from people that have also been, like, vocal in the Me Too movement? Like, Alyssa Milano's been very vocal. Like, Rose McGowan. Like, people that
Rose reached out to me when I came forward